My name is Nicole Hammil, and I live in Bennington, Nebraska, and I'm married and have two daughters. One's 10 and one's 7. I like to exercise a lot. There's like a group of us and we all go running together, and it's kind of how we met, my husband and I. We always would work out at the same gym. We'd see each other at the gym and then we'd see each other at work, and so that's kind of how we became friends.
She is the organizer of our family and keeps everybody's lives together. Takes excellent care of all of us. She takes really good care of herself. I mean, she's like the healthiest person I've ever met.
So I met Nicole when our studio first opened. She had been coming to classes early morning, always has lots of energy. She is just amazing. I mean, she is very strong. She can do all the moves without a lot of different options. So when she's in class, she's definitely someone that I can use as a model for other people to follow.
I think it was a Thursday or Friday. I know it was late in the week.
I got up early morning before work and went to exercise class that started at 5:30 in the morning. When I was there, I felt a little weak. I thought I must just be tired because I'd gone running the day before.
We were just getting started, kind of warming up on the megaformer, and when I cued the next move, I noticed that she didn't move. So I came over to her and just kind of checked in and said, "This is the move we're going to. Do you want to move positions?" And she just kind of was staring at me, sort of like a blank look, and it didn't seem like what I was saying was really registering to her. She was gripping the bars, so she was really just holding on tight to the bars. Her face was getting a little red, and I said, "Okay, well, why don't we try to sit down?" I thought maybe she just needed a break, and when we tried to transition her to a seated position, she couldn't hold her body up. We knew right away that we needed to get on the phone with 911.
I kept on trying to tell everybody, "I'm fine, I'm fine." The instructor kept telling me to like lift up my arm or lift up my leg, like, because they could see that my left side was kind of drooping, and I couldn't. And then I think that's when I like went into like shock almost, because I like wasn't processing what was happening. I remember the ambulance coming then, right about then, and they took me out to the ambulance. The gentlemen that were in the ambulance said, "Yeah, I think you're having a stroke," and then they took me to the med center. I had my stroke because of a blood clot. So my carotid artery dissected. It's when it like splits. It can like separate, and that's what caused the blood clot that went to my brain. So I get to the hospital and they had administered TPA, which is the blood thinner, and then they had to get the clot out of my brain. So they did a lead through my femoral artery and was able to go all the way up to my brain to get the clot out.
I don't even know, it was an hour and a half later when one of the doctors came and got us and told us that they'd gotten the clot out. Her function started coming back almost immediately, you know, in her hand and her leg and things like that. And, you know, they were doing like checks on her like every 5 or 10 minutes or whatever it was. And, you know, I was just so glad that she was, first of all, alive. Second of all, that like everything was coming back as quickly as it was.
I was in the ICU for, I think, a day and a half, and then I got moved to the regular floor, and I was actually out of the hospital within 2.5 days, I think. It's like a lot of people would have to do treatments for to relearn how to talk or strength. I never lost any of that. I mean, I regained full function. I made a full recovery.
It was amazing. She was back to normal. I mean, did not have to do any modifications to her exercises. She came back just as strong as she did when she left.
If everything hadn't happened the way it did that day, we wouldn't have walked out of the hospital less than 2 days after that. You know, from the people at the class to the time of the day it was where the ambulance was able to get there and get her there, the tools that they have available now compared to even just 5 or 10 years ago, I mean, that alone could have made a big difference in the outcome that she had, or a lot of people have.
It is because of the medicine and the procedures that the doctors did that I was able to make a full recovery. Yeah, I know a lot of people, when they think of stroke, they might think of someone older or a grandparent or something, but I mean, it can happen to anybody at any age.
You know, I think one of the things about the Med Center and being a comprehensive stroke center, the systems that we have in place help us identify both patients with more traditional risk factors and then some of these uncommon cases. The more people that can be informed, looking for signs of stroke, is key. And then like endovascular arena, the area where we're doing stuff inside the blood vessels to try to treat patients with stroke, the technology advances fairly rapidly. And so the more that people can provide funding opportunities and research opportunities for device development and then clinical outcomes research, I think it's very valuable for how we go about treating patients with vascular disease and stroke risk factors and improving patient outcomes.
I mean, I think it's definitely important to pay attention and know the signs of a stroke because you could save somebody's life. I mean, I would never want to ignore something that would end up making someone have to be in a wheelchair or not be able to live their best life ever. So for those people that helped me out, I mean, they literally saved my life. So, you know, the FAST signs, which is facial drooping, arm weakness, slurred speech, I had all of that. So honestly, I just feel an obligation to like do whatever I can to help. I want people to like know about it and anything that I can do because I'm so lucky to be here that I just want to be able to, you know, do anything I can to help other people. I'm just so grateful. Like I'm grateful for everything that I have. Grateful for my health, really, and grateful for that I get to do this every day and like, you know, be healthy and have a family that loves me and all that, so.